Hello. It's been a while since I last saw you. Hopefully, the music isn't too loud. It looks like it shouldn't be. But I never know. Because everything lies to me. This is why I have trust issues. Water. Delicious. So, what's been up? It's been a couple days. No stitches. Cat. Okay, you need to get down. Okay. So, what is up? I had to take a break from streaming. For those of you who don't know, I have fibromyalgia, and wintertime is the worst. So, it was a rough winter for me. It's still kind of rough, but now that it's slowly warming up, I'm improving. But yeah, so, things that are different. I wrote a novella, and it is on my Wattpad page. Let me grab a link for that. I meant to do that, but then I kept on getting distracted by everything else. Me get distracted? No. That doesn't sound like me at all. So yeah, there is now a short story. There's 2 short stories and a novella on there that has to do with the Phee-verse. Let me just type this out. Copy and enter. Another thing that I'm dealing with right now is one of my monitors kind of died. It was a TV. I like to have a big screen because I can't see worth shit. So, it decided to just not want to work anymore. So now I'm stuck on one screen, which is my drawing tablet. So this is going to be fun to try to keep up with chat. I'm going to put that there, and then... Let's see, how do I do... I probably have to go over here. So yeah, I wrote a novella. It is a follow-up to the short story, which the short story I wrote last year. And it's all about Fee's beginnings. And where is it? There we go. And pin message. There we go. Okay, cool. So yeah. Okay, I had to make a change on that. There we go. Okay, so the novella, I'm very proud of how the novella turned out. It is about Fee going to a place that's called the Mortahedral, which is kind of like the Vatican, and she essentially learns a new perspective on her faith, and that's the starting point to where we get the Fee that we know and love today. And speaking of the Fee that we know and love today, what I'm going to be doing today is I've made a 3D model of Fee. Go ahead and open this. Get it open? No, it's taking a minute. But I made a low poly 3D model of Phee, which I was pretty happy with. But ran into some issues. I think just because was following several different tutorials and stuff. I feel like there's a lot of probably background information going on that's really screwing stuff up. So I'm just gonna make another one. I need more practice with this stuff anyway, so that would be a preferred thing to do. So eventually it's going to open up the other file, or it's going to crash. One of the two. Because we're streaming, therefore, not much works. Oh, there we go. Kind of scared me. Yeah, so I made this model. And, I like how it turned out. But when I was watching some tutorials, like on rigging, these dotted lines were not going to this location. Which I don't even know why she's in front of it. I didn't even center her there. She was centered right there. So yeah, some weird stuff going on, but I liked how this turned out. Let me throw the render on there so you can see her textures. I'm really happy with how all this stuff looks and everything. But when I did a rigging tutorial that used Rigify, and which I was like, oh sweet, because I remember rigging being a pain in the butt in college, but that's because I was using like high poly models. When you rigging for low poly models or robots and stuff like that, I actually enjoy doing that a lot. It's really easy, actually. There were some of the tools on here I did not like how it was, and I couldn't figure out how to make it work the way I wanted it to. So I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to remake the rig and set it up the way I want to. But then I kept on running into problems. So I've decided that we're going to just remake this. I feel like I can do it better now. Now I've gotten my feet wet again. Because I have not done modeling or anything like that, 3D, anything, since college. So it's been well over a decade. Almost a decade and a half. So, because I'm old. So... And I've been wanting to learn Blender for a long while. And... why not? Might as well just go ahead and do Phee stuff, because I need to feed my addiction. I don't know where... because I feel like that just put that thing in the background of the Phee model that I made. But I don't know. Oh, light source. Okay, that's what I thought it was. But yeah, so gonna be doing that. But first, we need our references. Couldn't think what it was called for a second. Okay. And then we make this go up. We'll line it up with that. I need to remember that I have a drawing tablet. I can use my pen. It is way easier and smoother to do that. Okay. Let's move this back. Why? Because I'm so funny. So yeah. I had a feeling that it's probably going to be kind of slow going for a bit. As it's been about a week since I've done anything with the modeling and all that. I think I'm going to just duplicate that. I think it's Shift D. Yeah. And then R, and then Z, and then 90. Awesome. Go to 3. So we can G and Y because we can. One GX. Let's see how, not too far off. GY because it's not where we want it. Actually, I'm going to do, go back to 3. And then GY. Gonna try to find that up there. Select that. Let's see. 3, 9. So we can see the other side. GY. So we can line it up. There we go. And then, how do we do this? I can't remember. Oh crap, I can't remember. Oh no. Oh. Yeah, I've completely blanked on how to do that. Hold on. Looking. Here. I think it's this one. Or not. It was the previous one. Oh, here it is. Oh. I kind of screwed that up. Yeah. See, I think I remembered how we did it when I was in college, when I used Maya. But it's not like this. So, whoops. Add image reference. Okay. Just want to double check that. And then where? Okay, cool. It does that. Okay, I'm gonna want that and that. Probably not, it's not going to be the best reference, but it's kind of I just use it as a guideline more than anything. Okay. No. Just double checking. Where is it? Here it is. GZ, go up. Why does this look wonky? Is that going at an angle? It is. Why is it at an... Oh, probably because it... Okay, yeah. I thought it... I thought things... I thought wrong things. Ignore me. Okay. I think I need R. Or not. Okay, that's fine. That's how. There we go. Okay. So now, like that. So then we want to rotate it. Let's see, R, X, 90. GZ, so it goes straight up. And then go here, and then GY. Go set it there. And then wait a minute, why? Whoa, where'd it go? Okay, don't know why you're like that. You're doing that. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna rotate that then. Okay, that's looking where I want it to look. And then GX, move this over here. GY, move this up here. Alright. And then apparently we need to do this again for the other one, even though it should have done it for both, but whatever. Ta-da! Okay. That's what that was. Okay. What am I doing? Right. R. X. 90. GZ. Doom. GZ. Doom. Right. So the reason why I put these separately like this is because I'm gonna model these separately, and just based off of how it was last time I did it, I just kind of want to do it like that. So I'm gonna hide that for now. And I will use. I think I need to open up or put it in again. Nope, it's still in. Okay, cool. Oh, right. So we go here. I don't know why it keeps calling me. I'll be right back. Okay, back. What are we doing? Armature. Verify human. Oh, that is tiny. Why are you so small? Why is you little? That's a small person. Okay. Let me see how this will go. Let's see. S. Okay, man. Close enough. Great. Now we need to move this up. I don't know why that looked like that. Or whatever. Okay. Now, meta rig, and we're going to delete that because I don't want it. Because I'm going to make my own rig. Because I don't need, like, I don't know, a third of those bones or controls. And once again, I have to be right back. But it's because I got food, so not that it's not as bad as it usually is. So I will be right back. Okay, day. I got Taco Bell. Always excited for Taco Bell. Ooh. That felt weird. Okay. I'm dying. Help. Okay. So, now that we got that set up the way it should be, was it Alt H? That's a big box. just wanted that to be lined up a bit better. Okay. So then, want this down. And we are going to start with the foot. And make this see-through. Bring this up. Oh, these need to come down. Thank you for putting the blue line on top of the thing I'm moving. I appreciate that. Really, I do. There we go. Okay. Back to here. I'm gonna go to edit. And move this over. Or not. Gonna get out of edit mode because I realize I'm still dumb. I need to line up the footsies. Yeah, close enough. Okay. Now we're going to go back to this. Hello, Sledge. Did not realize you messaged. Well, yeah. Yeah, it is wild to finally meet up without our masks, if you could put it that way. Although, once I get all this stuff done, then I will be putting the mask back on because I'm going to be using Phee as my VTube model. Which I'm very excited about. Alright, let's go ahead and just move this over here. Get down some more. Wrong thing. Ah! Thank you for the follow. I forgot how loud that was. Hopefully that was picked up with the audio. I have no idea if it was. Got something stuck in my tooth. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Had a sudden conversation come up. Boy, the stream's going well. Okay. Let's shrink this down some more. Alright. Now we'll go to edit mode. I want to put in a few loops. And then go select mode. Getting everything? Yes, I am. Actually, I want to just do one at a time. Actually, I'm gonna do this. I'm not really gonna follow this shape that I drew. I just basically did that because I already know what kind of shape I'm gonna do. Where that come out a little bit. S, X, because I want them to go out. Now the question is, do I want to... Oh. I want to just make this go just flat like that. Well, let's go ahead and just select these. GY, because we can. You go to object mode, and you move this up. Go back to edit mode. I'm going to select everything and shrink this, or squish it. Not really shrink it, squish it. Because this is her steel toe, essentially. And then just select those and just bring these down a little bit. Add 2 more loops. And then, because I want to actually bring these a little bit.
I downed you the $80.
What?
I downed you the $80.
Okay.
You don't have to keep back the money.
All right. Actually, I like that. I was thinking about like widening this out, but I think I actually prefer it that way. And then I actually want to use the lasso. I guess I didn't actually need the lasso, so I was just gonna grab those. GZ. Just bringing those up a bit. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, face mode. Just want to select those. All right. Oh, I always do that. Oh wait, I should probably be in modeling mode, or whatever. I think I just hit, yeah. I'm gonna have this come out a little bit. And then we're gonna do it again. Just a little bit. And then, I'm gonna select those. And I'm gonna have it go up a bit. And then go back to faces. And then extrude. Okay, I don't know why I did that. A bit more. Go back to vertices. I'm going to just scooch this up a little bit. And actually I want to grab all of these. Okay, well, that's not... Okay, well that's not doing what I wanted to. How do I forget how to do it. I have the memory of a turnip. Let's see. Okay, that didn't do it. Let's try this. Or not. Okay. Well, that didn't work. That's... Okay, that worked. There we go. And they're lined up there. Cool. That works. Alright. Alright, now I want to put in a loop here. Because now I'm gonna select these faces. And E, 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 then ES, extrude out. To go up. Alright, now just want to select. I always forget I can just do this. Alright. And then actually I want to look at the top. I just want to give a little bit of roundness to it. I just like the way it looks. Go back to here. Keep pressing space bar to kind of slide around, because that's how it is with many other programs that I use. Wait, I need to do this. A little bit, and then we select you and just have you come out just a little bit more, just to give a little bit more roundness. And then we do the same here. But we'll go all the way down here. Not that one. That one. And then that one. And then that one. And then that one. And then that one. Ooh. Not too bad. I think go back to vertices, go to 1, actually no, go to 3. Can I just press L? Nope. Do that. And then I actually want to squish it a little bit like that. And then I think I actually want to do that. These might be a bit high up. Okay. I need to squish these down just a tiny bit. That's better. Okay. This might be a little bit too far back. Okay. So we got that foot. Object. Click. And then okay. Kind of looks like a clown foot. Okay, that's a lot better. Yeah, doesn't look so much like a clown foot now. I wonder. I like that better. Gives it, I think it gives it better form. But still giving it like a blocky look. Kind of what I'm going for. Like, just a blocky, low poly look. So now I'm gonna go here, add modifier, search. I want to see if this is going to work correctly. Apparently not. Oh, you're just not going to... Okay. Apparently I have to do it like this. I thought if I could just select the object, it would do it, but I guess not. So we do actually have to select it like this. That is not... How do we do this? I get the pivot point? There it is. Well, that's not what I wanted. That's not. Nope. We're just gonna try them all. I don't know where that's going. I thought this was supposed to be the center. Like that dot there. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Control Alt Shift C. Control Alt Shift V. That did. It's not doing the thing. You're not doing the thing. Why aren't you doing the thing? Oh, I need to be in object mode. Never mind. Well, you're lying to me. Now make me happy. Not gonna lie, I feel like a story jacker when I made the Koikatsu Phee model next to my 1A character. I thought that stuff was hilarious. I was very amused by it. And besides, like, I essentially have two versions of Phee. I have the in canon lore Phee, who is a silly goose, but not as much as the uh, out of universe Phee that I do all the silly stuff with. Like she's still a silly Billy Goat, um, in universe, but not to the extreme degree that she is with all the stupid stuff that I do with her. Okay. Okay, I think we got it. Oh, God damn. It throws me off so much. When data opacity. There we go. It throws me off when I'm in this view, because I have, when I want to move something, if I want to move it up and down, I have to hit Z. Where I'm used to where that's Y. It just throws me off so bad. That didn't... Why? Why are you the way you are? Now I don't want to do it. What? Why you crap? Why are you dumb? Nothing wants to do the. Just want to make sure it was not doing things that I didn't want it to do, because it's already not doing things I don't want it to do. Or it's doing things. No. You know what I mean. Shut up. I'm gonna eat my burrito. See, when I was following the tutorial for this crap, you're like, yeah, just bum 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 bum, and there you go. And I go, okay, bum 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 bum. Where's everything? I had this problem in college as well. I was always the only person in class who would run into a problem where the teacher had never seen that problem before. And I had, like, my teachers were people who were out in the field, who were animators and stuff like that. And they've been doing it for a long time. So, yeah, I was like, yeah, I told you, I'm going to find stuff that you've never seen before. They never believed me at first, but then they're like, oh, damn, he was serious. I don't want wireframe. I also don't want an X-ray either. Oh, you'll do it. I don't like it. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and just put the mirror on this now. Go back to 1. Up. And then moment of truth. Because I'm in object mode. You stupid. It's okay. I'm fine. Why are you acting? Why are you being stressed out? I'm the one going through this crap. There. Just gonna squish that down a little bit. There we go. At least it lines up better with the reference. Yeah, well. Okie doke. Probably should scooch these up a bit. Alright. Next burrito. Which one is this one? Same as the last one. Okay. I like to get 2 different kinds of burritos. So, since I don't label that crap, you never know. Okay. So the tutorial does it differently than what I have to do, because their character wears like short shorts. Phee wears pants. So I have to do it a little bit differently. Fortunately, I remember how to do things so that, like right here, doesn't get all screwed up. Okay. So then we want to add mesh cube, big box. Shrink that down. I kind of want to make a little robot where it just has shoes like that and just tiny legs that go into the shoes, and this is the robot. Walks around all doofy, has to like lean to the side to take a step. That'd be funny. I'd be amused by it. Okay. Squish this a bit. Still needs to be wider than the shoe. There we go. Probably line this up over here as well. Okay. And then I'm gonna go to edit. And then just gonna stretch this. Not what I wanted to do. There we go. Actually, no. I don't want to start at the bottom. I want to start at the top, because that's where the things are. You stupid. Cut my life into pieces. Burrito. Don't remember what I'm doing. All right, edit mode. Snoop. I'll just go ahead and spit on my monitor. Why not? What are you doing? Okay. Faces. Select these. Delete faces. Select this. And add modifier. Mirror. Okay. clipping, because apparently that makes sure that these don't go past each other, which is what I want. Because I ran into that problem a fair bit last time. So, how we're going to do this is that we're going to raise this up a little bit more. Do vertice, select this, squish it down a bit, and select these, bring them out a little bit. I'm not centering it off of the reference because I'm just using it as a guideline because I already have in mind exactly how I want this to go. Okay, then we're going to add that. Actually, I want to grab these down here. Okay. So then that like that, and then I want to add that one there. And then instead of doing another loop, I'm going to use this knife tool. And go back to the loop. There. Why are you not going all the way around? I mean, whatever. I guess that works. Just gonna have that come out a little bit, because that's her butt. Gotta have a little curvature for the butt. Okay. No, we want to do selections. That, and then that. Actually, I feel like that's too thick. That looks better. She's not thicker than she is wide. She's very skinny. Phee is a very thin girl. I had somebody ask, where does she keep her organs? I said her hat. Next question. Okay. What's the loop tool gonna do this right? Oh, it's gonna go all the way around. Why did not do that in the back? Whatever. Okay. Selection. must be a better way to say it. Is there an align tool? Extension. Okay, I want to see. What this is. Align selected objects to active objects. I don't think that's exactly what I want. Mesh align plus. Move/align mesh parts plus objects based on scene geometry/metrics. I don't know if that's exactly what I want either. Align to custom. Align 3D view. No, that's not what I want. Maybe that is what we want. The Mesh Align Plus. I just looked up and it was talking about that tool. Okay. So that's installed. Oh, and then it's right there. See, that's really cool with Blender, that you can just, like, in real time install things. That's cool. Align points. It might not actually be what we want, but it'll probably be useful, so I'm still keeping that. I'll have to look more into that. The way it looks now, it looks like she's got a pee. Oh, that's funny. Oh yeah, I need to put in... I forgot to do that when I was extruding. that just makes it easier for stuff to bend and all that. Okay. I think I need another. I think I need probably 2 more loops, but we're going to start with 1. Okay. My phone keeps going off. What's going on? Okay. Nothing crazy. Next question. Is she the type of woman to blame her ricochet shot on an assassin? Hmm. That is a good question. I think it would have to depend on if there are witnesses. Because if there are witnesses, also it'd have to depend on if she's out in the field or not. If she's out in the field, she probably would. She'd probably be like, "Did you see where that sniper was? Don't bother trying to find them. They're probably out of here already. They probably have escaped. Don't worry about it. I'm fine." But like if it was on her ship, she'd just be like, we are not going to talk about this. Nobody talks about this at all. Don't ask why there's a graffiti artist in my basement. So, Phee is known for having she's known for having pets. And since necrews don't see any other species as equal to them, anything that's not a necrew is considered a pet. So, but pets are also like not common. Like, it's not like how we have it where everybody, like a lot of people have cats or dogs or birds or whatever. Like, it's really weird to have a pet. Like, you have to be in the upper echelons of society to be able to have the capability of having a pet, which Phee is in that bracket. So, if there was some graffiti artist in her basement, everyone would just be like, "Well, that's a weird looking pet." That's Phee for you. I don't get it. Okay, want to select that, and then go up here, and I guess we'll select. Actually, no, stop it. Stop it! Stop! Ah! There we go. What am I doing? Okay. Just have that come out just a little bit. Maybe this doesn't come out as far. That looks better. This, however, does come out a fair bit further. I don't want you. I'm actually going to rotate like that, and then we come out like that. Straighten out a little bit. Ah! I did it again. I hit spacebar instead of shift, because I'm not used to that. Duly noted. Yeah, so I kind of went with that because a while ago someone made like an AU character for Phee that was like an adopted daughter type of thing. And the character was so stinking cute. And I was like, oh, God, I want to make this canon so bad because this character's so cute. Oh, it hurts. But, like, with how I've already had rules set up and everything, I was like, I can't just, like, have her, like, literally breaking rules. So I was like, but pets. We could do pets. Because the thing is that Phee is, like, treats things very well when they're under her care. Like, she spoils the crap out of her soldiers. Mainly because most of the time, they're not coming back. So, you know. It's good to, like, have a nice life type of thing. Yeah, I think I need to come out. I feel like I need to adjust this. Why you, why? Why are you being weird? Could just select those. White. Because. I'm fine with clipping and stuff, because, like, that's what you get with low poly models. Just want to make sure that they still look good. Wrong thing. There we go. Okay, that's better. There we go. I realized I was having a bit of a flattening going on. That's fine. In some aspects, this has more polys than the previous model. Like, I think the shoes definitely have more. But I think... No, this stuff... Okay, so yeah. Not in all aspects. This has more polys. But it's still pretty low. It's not gonna look exactly how I initially planned for it to look, because I initially planned for it to be looking like late 90s type of, like, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1 kind of graphics. But I don't know. I think this kind of has more polys going on than that. But I just like the way this looks, so, like, whatever. Okay. Well, I think the legs are good. I think it's time for a little break. Been going for nearly 2 hours, even though, like, I've been interrupted several times. But my goal for tonight is to at least get the body done, because I know the head's gonna take a good while. But cat, get away from my food! Don't you swat at me! I got a kitten back in October. Come here, you! Come here, you! Little brat! Nope, I got you now. Her name is Stitches. She's a little calico, short hair. She is precious. I named her Stitches because she looks a lot like my very first cat, who was also a calico. Hence why she looks a lot like her. And her name was Patches. And I was like, well, might as well call her Stitches, because that's what holds Patches together. Oh, hey, Batsy. I didn't notice you were there. So do you have experience 3D modeling, or just the old model? This one. So I actually have an education in 3D modeling, but that was a long time ago, and the last time I did any kind of 3D modeling was in college. And I learned it in Maya, which is a different program than Blender, hence the different names. But yeah, so I have not touched any kind of 3D modeling or 3D anything for a long time, like almost 15 years. So I actually don't really like doing much of any kind of 3D thing except animating. I actually really enjoy 3D animation, but I just focused a lot on doing other things, and look how that turned out. So, but I really want to make a 3D model of Phee, because I really want to do some stuff with her. I think it would be a lot of fun. Most notably, I want to make a 3D VTube model with her. So I downloaded this extension right here that is, I guess I'm going to be doing, I need to make like 2 versions. I think I need to have one for when I'm making videos and one for VTubing. So I need to make sure I duplicate and like figure out stuff. Probably just make different save files. It'd probably be the easiest thing to do. Whoop, didn't mean to do that. There we go. So, yeah. VTubing sounds so fun. Oh, like, I'm very excited to do it. One of the best things is I won't technically have to do facial rigging, which I feel like I'm cheating the system, which makes me kind of giddy. But I also want to figure out a way to do a type of facial rigging to where the different, like how I show her facial expressions, I'm just gonna have different like sticky notes appear on her face when I do certain expressions. So I need to figure out how I'm gonna do that, because that I feel like that's gonna be really funny. But yeah, and then to do something similar when I'm making videos with her, so that it's a rig thing, instead of trying to just figure out how to keep all that stuff together, all the different planes and all that. Meow. Look, it's a plane. So yeah, but I did like how the last one looked and everything, and it was fun posing her and all that stuff, but I just ran into problems when I was trying to re-rig her, because I didn't like how the rig was with certain aspects. And I just ran into a bunch of problems, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to make a new model. Now that I have a better understanding of how to do this stuff, and I remember how to do some of this stuff. So yeah, I'm not really following my reference all that closely. It's just more of trying to keep me within the bounds, well, pretty much. Because I know I have a better idea in my head of how I want it to look. Taco Bell, so good. But yeah, so I'm gonna make the torso, and then make the arms and hands, which I'm also tempted to have Phee in this like low poly form, but then when she has weapons, they're in like really high resolution, so she has like realistic looking guns and stuff when she uses them. I think it just look funny. Also, making 3D stuff like this can get me into making like more mechanical-esque modeling. I think I mostly don't like doing organic modeling, because there's a lot that goes into it, and it's a pain in the butt. But I like making robots and stuff, 3D modeling, because you just throw some boxes together and then it's like, whew, it moves. Uh-huh. But yeah, so that might get me to make some 3D models of like spaceships and stuff, and then I can use those as references to when I draw them. Make sure you drink water. Your body's like a plant, you need to water it. Yeah, it would be a big time saver, especially because I'm terrible at drawing vehicles and stuff. But if I can figure out a way to draw to model the ships and stuff, then I can just kind of trace over that stuff, and I'll make it a whole lot easier. What so when it comes to, and I might also do that with the buildings and stuff like that. Because I really want to keep a consistency, but if you look at all my drawings of Phee, I can't consistency at all. So it would definitely help me with keeping consistency of the look of Necropole and all that. Because the aesthetic that Necropole has is a mixture of zigzag and streamlined Art Deco styles. So zigzag was like the 1920s and 30s kind of design in America. Ooh. And then streamline was more like the 50s and 60s. So like more rounded looking stuff, things that look more aerodynamic. Because I feel like that stuff already looks futuristic. And I also love Art Deco. That's like my favorite art style for architecture and all that. So it's a mixture of those two, on top of a foundation of brutalism. And essentially, brutalism is like the materials that make a structure. The expression is the materials itself, mostly. So, like, the best example I can give for brutalism is like a parking garage. So there's a mixture of all that stuff together. So basically, like, foundation, brutalism, and then everything's decorated in zigzag and vehicles and stuff like that. Vehicles and basically anything that's not a structure, like a building, is more like streamlined. But still the idea of brutalism, where like they don't paint over a whole lot of things. They basically just go with how the stuff looks like when it's manufactured. And one thing that I'm going to do with the spaceships is that they're going to be designed off of streamlined trains, because I think those always look so cool. I don't think I would call a fork brutalism. Too much curvature. You can make a fork into a brutalistic fashion, but brutalism has harsh corners and cold. It's like harsh and cold is kind of the expression with it. So like things made of metal, concrete, rebar, stuff like that. But no, the best example is a parking garage, I would say. Okay. By the way, have you seen the Ask Phee submission or post I did today? I was going to put 2, but apparently Pixel Art doesn't want that up, the second one. So I'll have it. I mean, yes, with the suspense, with the face reveal. I saw the person send that ask, and I was just like, I've already answered this. I'm gonna be plagued for the rest of my life with this question, and the answer is always going to be the same. There's going to be one of two things: one, never; two, I already have, and it's going to be, and I'm going to refer to like an image I've done of her not having a face, and then I'm just gonna like, wait, she's got a pretty face. What are you right there? And just gaslight the shit out of people. That's what I'm planning on doing when it comes to that question. It's so funny if you make a character that wears a mask. And, yeah, you make a character with a mask and everyone's like, what do they look like under the mask? I'm like, that's not important. I was very tickled. Like, I saw the question, I was like, okay. Especially because they were asking, like, is there going to be an epic fanfare type of thing with her face reveal? So I was like, well, I kind of have to lean into this. Which, it's kind of a sequel to, I think, the third ask. Yeah, people are ungrateful, the masks are the cool part. I know, right? And I've had people try to trick me into doing like a face reveal, or at least describing a face reveal type of thing. I'm like, well, how would you imagine her face looks like? It's like, it probably looks like hers. And that's as far as I go with it. But, yeah, I still can't believe that I have had this tumor in my head called Major Phee for close to 400 days now. Very fancy, with facial features that a face would have. Exactly. See, you know what she looks like. I want to squish this down because I want to see chat better. I don't know how this is going to affect other things. I'm going to move this here. Squish this. I think it'd be funnier if you trolled people instead of getting the face model I had canon with it. I like how when she gets, I think it's when she gets mad, her eyes turn into targets. I find that funny. I find that very funny. Yeah, 400 days. She grows so fast. I know, right? I don't know how to explain to people how she came to be. Because I don't know how she came to be. She just kind of showed up and said, I live here. And I was like, okay, I guess you live here. No, wait, you don't go away. Like, I've seen... Also, I always forget to say this. Make sure you follow and like and subscribe and share the stream and all that stuff. Because I'm back to streaming, which means that I will be streaming Friday through Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. And we will be doing art on Friday and Sunday, and we'll be gaming on Saturday. So, and that's the plan from here on out until I change it. And yeah, so make sure that you put that on your calendars and make sure you share the streams and stuff and all my posts and become absolute sycophants, because I would really like that. Phee gets what Phee wants, no questions. She came to you in a vision. Tomorrow's game will probably be Timberborn, because I absolutely love that game. Let me look. Steam. It's either going to be Timberborn. It might be Overwatch, because a friend of mine plays it a lot, and I do kind of enjoy playing as Vendetta, because I like jumping around, being fast with a big stick. But I will not play that by myself. I refuse to, because I don't enjoy that game by myself at all. So it's gonna be one of those two games, depending on if I can get my friend to play with me. If not, we'll play Timberborn. Timberborn is a, what's it called? City builder, colony builder, whatever kind of builder game, where you have a bunch of beavers and you make a colony, and you try to survive the elements, and it's a lot of fun. I have hundreds of hours in that game, and it's going to be officially releasing on the 12th. So I'm excited about that, because I think they're going to add some stuff on the release as well. But yeah, so that's what we'll be playing tomorrow. Okay, I need object, cube, big box. For this view, G, not X, I want Z. There we go. Where are things? There are things. What does it look like on here? Okay, I need to change this. Where? I mean, this fits better in this box now. Now I have to get used to this kind of format. Well, that's not what I wanted. Shrink. I was expecting it to be a shooting game, but Beaver Simulator. Yeah, so a lot of shooting games that I've played, I'm tired of playing them, or my computer just does not like to play them and stream at the same time anymore, because my computer is nearly a decade old, and I can't afford to upgrade or get a new one, so we're just dealing with what we got. Might need to scoot this back, otherwise her back is broken. I'm gonna see if I can play Doom, the 26th. Well, either once. What months do I have again? Because I know I have 2016, but I think I have like a collection thing. Okay, so I have 2016 Doom, Doom 3 with 2 different versions, and I also have Doom 64. I thought I had the other ones. Maybe I just played them on whatever it's called, thing on Xbox. I always forget what it's called. Game Pass. So I might play those. One, somebody asked me to, and I like those games. But really, the only other game that I enjoy playing, I'm kind of taking a break from it, is Warhammer 40k Darktide. Yeah, I really enjoy that game. Go in edit mode. Go in the loop. Delete. Computers are so expensive, and it makes me mad because everyone needs one for everything nowadays. Yeah, pretty much. What am I doing? I forget. Where am I? Who are you? Where are my pants? Okay. Actually, this needs to go up a bit. I wonder if I can just do it like this. Okay. SZ. Not exactly doing what I want. But then we can just do that. Because Phee wears pants that, like, go really high up on her. I didn't draw it correctly on there. Okay. I think that'll work. Just gonna have that overlap a little bit. GY because yeah, I kind of went with that. So when I was honestly, I don't really know what my thought process was when I was designing Phee, other than I was basically making my version of Spaghetti Girl's Calliope character because I love that design. And then I was like, I rise up pants because, like, officers from way back in the day. Why not? But yeah, like, when I was designing Phee, Yeah, I love Sketty. I love her art style and all that. Um, and she's extremely unhinged, which is very funny. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I was just like one day I was like I want to draw. I'm hold on. This looked weird. Yeah, I'm seeing. Am I being stupid? Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Why are these overlapping? They're not supposed to. There we go. Yeah, that's not supposed to happen. I was told that this does not. Okay. Anyway, I don't even know what I was talking about. Sketty. Yeah, so I was just doing that, drawing my version, and I don't know why I had this idea of someone who is just a who is addicted to death like it's a drug. And so like I drew up a character like that, and then like I had her wearing very like similar design to Calliope, but also mixing more of like an SS officer design. And then like I just had the idea of a character like that kind of just staying stuck in my head. And I was like, there's something here. I really like this idea. So then I was thinking about what kind of character would be like this. And then I thought about what kind of like environment would a character like this have to be in. And then I was like, okay, what kind of society would a character like this be, like, would exist in? And then it kind of just kept snowballing like that. And then I was like, I just really like this idea. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna redesign the character, and simplify her design a little bit, because if I'm gonna draw her a couple more times, I'm gonna make it easier on myself. So I redesigned her with the design we have now, and decent. Yeah, I actually looked into it. At least on pixel art, I have now over 170 drawings of Phee. Or 170 drawings of Phee. So, yeah, a little more than a couple. Just a little bit. Do we need to hold an intervention? I think we're past that. There's no hope at this point. Like, I'm constantly sitting here going, why do I love this character so much? Because, like, I keep on drawing her, and every time I draw her, it makes me smile, and she makes me happy, and I'm like, why? This doesn't make any sense. Like, I've only ever had one other character that made me feel that way for a while, and her name was Vicky. She's a cat girl, and I miss drawing her. I really want to, like, redesign her and stuff, because, like, she was, like, my original obsession. But, yeah, but with Phee, like, I don't know. I'm always just sitting there like, why do I love this character so much? And I still don't know why. That's not lining up right. There we go. It's been years since I've drawn her, and it's been years since I've drawn her butt. Clip. There we go. Just gonna change this up a bit so I can still see chat. Okay, so we're able to see. Let's see. So, like, I first made Vicky back in 2012. And that kind of just snowballed into being, like, I was drawing her, and then I made a comic with her, and then I was writing a book with her. That's how I learned that I need to make, like, a short story or novella in, like, segments of a story and then put them together, otherwise they will not get done. But yeah, the comic that she was in was called The Perfect Roommate, but it's Purrfect roommate, because ha 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 ha. How do you think I feel? I feel so old. Here's a good one with all three characters. So the three characters in the comic was Vicky and her two roommates. One is named Guy, and the other one's name is Ned. And here's a old thing I did with them. Sure, yep, you can see that. But yeah, Guy is the one in the middle, and Ned's the one in black. But yeah, Vicky is just a super sweet, loving, bubbly girl that her goal in life is to become friends with everyone. That's her goal in life. She just wants to be friends with everybody. But yeah, so the funny thing about about this drawing is that like their sunglasses, like these two are like regular, but yet his is kind of squished here. That was a running joke I made with him, where his he does not take his sunglasses off ever, like he even sleeps with them on, and so they actually kind of conform to his expressions, and I just found that amusing. Let's see. What else? Yeah, the funniest thing about that was when I was writing the book. So the book was essentially those three in a D&D campaign. And because he's always wearing his sunglasses, in the D&D campaign, everyone thinks he's a Cyclops because he's wearing his sunglasses in the game world as well. Your cat, I'm trying to get to him. Yeah, I used to make little things like this. So essentially, like their dynamic with that Vicky is the girl and she's all sweet and bubbly and everything. Ned Guy is like this. Guy is like essentially a dude bro. And like he's very much a ladies' man and all this stuff. And like he's into working out. He's like the ultimate frat boy. He's a frat boy that like never grew up past being in a frat, even though he never went to college. Oh, wait, no, yeah, he did because that's how he and Ned met. Ned is a anxiety ridden absolute mess of a person. He's basically the adult of the group, and he's also like he has aspirations for things, but he's so like scared of stuff that he's practically never tried to actually achieve his dreams. But he and Guy met in college, and they've been essentially best friends ever since. Oh yeah, I like this one. Vicky was like, "You have long hair, and I've been practicing braiding hair. I want to braid your hair." And he was like, "No, no." And then she did her like little kitten eyes, and he was like, "Fuck." And yeah, so then ended up being like this. He's like extremely nervous around Vicky a lot of times, because he does not have much experience with women and all that. They never get into a relationship because Vicky is actually asexual and aromantic, so she only wants to be friends with people, and it never goes beyond that. I wish women were real. I know, right? Well, the government is hiding all the cat girls, so that's a problem. But yeah, I had all sorts of stuff going on with them in the issues. Let's see, I made I made about 3 seasons worth, um, of 30. I made 30 issues of the comic. Uh, I did the way I was had the layout for the how the stories go is that one season would be a story arc one. The second one, the one after that would be like random stuff, and then the one after that would go back to an actual story arc type of thing, and it would just alternate like that. And yeah, I did a bunch of different things. I had like some story arcs planned out and all that, but I also did remakes. So I originally made her did the comics in 2012, 2013, and then college was getting kind of insane for me, so I took a break from it. Got back to it in 2016, made all those one issues, and then kind of stopped doing it because life was being stupid. Um, there we go. And yeah, and then I just never gotten back to it. And then I was planning on getting back to it, and then Phee showed up, and I haven't been able to do anything else since. Um, but I've been having so much fun with Phee. Phee has unlocked something in me that I've not had the pleasure of dealing with in a long time. And that's really enjoying storytelling again and having a desire to draw a lot and get back into modeling and animating and video editing and stuff like that. So, I will always be grateful that Phee came into my life. Light of my life. Loop tool. Batsy, have you read the the lore stuff that I have of Phee? Okay, well, I highly recommend reading them, not just because I wrote them, but one, you get to see more Phee stuff, and two, you get to see how young Phee was, and I had one person read them and was like kind of live messaging me about like their reactions and stuff, and they said the more they read, the more they like Phee as a character, and I was like, yes. That made me really giddy. the Phee propaganda spreads. It's not propaganda, it's the truth! The burgers are putting chemicals in our water. Well, why can't you see that? Making the frogs gay. I think I can kind of see that. Okay, I think I jumped the gun on a few things. He makes you think of Skull Girls for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, I can see her in Skull Girls. That'd be really great to if someone either made a mod or a game where they put Phee in it, and it's like a fighting game. That would be awesome. And like she would definitely be a joke character in something like that. Just because, like, I was telling Sledge, there's like two different versions of Phee. There's the lore accurate canon Phee. And she is a bit, she's still a silly billy goat and stuff like we know of her. She's just not as much as she is in all the other stuff that I do with her. Because she's like extremely silly in the stuff that I do with her. But it's not that far off. They should add Phee, but not to fight, just judge you in the corner. Yeah. Yeah, I mean... So in one way or another, all the things that I've done with her is like she would, canon-wise, kind of do. I think it's more of the frequency is what I mean. Like, she doesn't always do silly things. Constantly. but it's also like it's an extreme compared to all the other Necrus because most Necrus are kind of serious, at least more serious than she is. Like even her troops um, find some of her antics to be quite a bit much. But all of her troops are also like they love Phee because Phee is good. They're all just haters. Oh man, I really can't wait to really get into um like I guess kind of the politics of how a lot of the stuff is for Phee, because that's when you really get to see how oh, like Phee has a lot going against her, basically. Is what I'm trying to say. So, like, Fee's ideology is extremely niche, and it's even considered borderline blasphemous to a lot of people. Um, so she has that going for her. And then, just it looks weird. How if I went back to doing this? How accurate / inaccurate was my headcanon version of Phee compared to canon Phee? I need to look at them again. I can't remember. Where are things? I think I can probably find it faster on my profile. Oh, I guess it was a lot longer ago than I thought. I have a hard time finding it. Hold on. Oh, Batsy, if you speaking of haters, probably the people that hate Phee the most are the other Extra Mortai, the other immortals. Like only maybe 3 of them like her, and the rest of them hate her guts. Where the fuck is it? Nope, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I just always get a kick out of the targets being her eyes. I think that's really funny. I wish I could zoom up more, but it won't let me because stuff is stupid. Um, yeah, Ata Mortai Omega. I don't know. Phee doesn't wear armor, stuff like that, because I mean she can always just die and come back. So she's never too concerned about what happens to her body. But having all the weapons strapped on her, very accurate. If she was going in like scorch earth mode by herself, having bandoliers of all sorts of ammo and stuff, and having a whole bunch of knives and sidearms and melee weapons strapped to her body, very accurate. She would definitely be like that. She would have to be really pissed to be that way, but she definitely would do that. And she doesn't get super pissed very often. Like, it's extremely rare. The only times that she gets super pissed is it's mostly whenever she runs into someone who is trying to achieve immortality by one way or another. Partially because that's extremely blasphemous in her faith, but also if you read the lore that I have written of her so far, you can get a good idea that she's not much of a fan of being immortal. In fact, that's kind of the whole deal with the short story and the novella, is her dealing with the fact that she's immortal, and it's kind of destroyed her sense of reality a bit. But the novella is about her finding new purpose with her immortality. Um, the short story is about when she finds out that she's immortal. And then the one that I'm working on now, which I don't know what it's going to be. It might actually end up being like a short novel. Um, or just a really long novella. I'm not sure. Uh, but um, this third one, which is called A Death Worth Living, is about her going back to essentially like quote unquote normal society. So she's leaving the mortahedral, and um, because she wants to go into the military, like the actual like frontline military. Technically, the entire empire is the Armada, but like she wants to go into the what's called the Forza Mortai or Forza Morte, um, which is essentially like the front lines um, of the military. And so when she's doing that, she goes back to regular education, and she has to deal with people reacting to her as an extra mortai, which she has developed a lot between the two stories to be kind of used to that. Because that was another big thing for her. Also, there's that. She also is like first time dealing with opposition to her beliefs. Um, because what she now believes is not something that's common throughout the Empire. Even though it's very similar, it's still different, and everybody's very rigid in their beliefs and stuff. And so she's dealing with that, and then she's also dealing with her conflict with the Extra Mortai Kule, which is the council that runs the Empire, because they want to get her to join the council and try to basically control her, and she doesn't want that. Phee returns to society and learns people have opinions horrible and evil. I know, right? Yeah, and then but then so like she goes through normal education, and then she goes to officer school, and she also has to fight the one thing that she hates is being treated different just because she's an ex Mortai. So she demands to be treated like everyone else. She hates getting special treatment because she's all about getting being getting things because of what she does, not because of what she is. And so she has to fight with that a lot, and also has to fight with the fact that a lot of people have ideas about her because she's an extra Mortai. So she has to deal with that a lot. And then she becomes an officer and gets her own legion. And basically that's where it ends, is when she finally gets her own legion and everything. So there's a lot that's going to be going into the this new one. And a couple things I'm excited about. It's mainly characters. I'm excited of bringing back a character named Hokane Bucks. He is an ultra badass character. Batsy, I've posted a sketch of him on pixel art not too long ago. He's the guy with like the cyber, like half his head is a robot head. Um, but yeah, he's like an ultra badass. Like he is a legend in Necropole. Oh, Roboface, yes. Um, he is one of very few people who have served in the military for over 30 years. Most don't live longer than like 10 years. But he has served in several legions. He has been in countless deployments. He has been in several campaigns. He has done some insane feats for someone who is not an immortal. When a net crew serves in the military for 30 years, they are then offered the opportunity to come off the front line and become an educator, so that the next generations can learn from them, and that way further improving the capabilities of the Empire. And so, but he didn't want to do that, and they asked him for 7 years to become an educator, and he was like, no, my duty, my purpose is to be on the field, and I will do that until the day I die. Well, then he gets in an ambush and almost dies, and then is convinced that, well, he should have died in that ambush, but he didn't. Which means he's probably meant to become an educator. So he agrees. Once he's recovered, he goes into education. And his first day of teaching was the day that Phee got shot. So, but yeah, he ends up becoming Phee's mentor, military mentor. And so I'm excited about bringing him in. And another character I'm excited about bringing in is Malk Holt. He is the guy. I'm gonna redesign him a bit. Right now, his current design is that he's the same way as Hokane, where like half his head he's a robo face, but he also has a robot arm. I'm gonna get rid of the robot face and just gonna have him have a robot arm. And I originally did have it to where like he was in some kind of accident and he lost his arm, but I'm actually gonna change it to where he has a disease basically that took his arm. But yeah, Malk is, I think, a really fun character because he's also a badass, but in a different way than Hokane. He is like an intellectual badass because he achieves the rank of Takashe. A Takashe is a title that in the history of the Empire, so in the last 10,000 years, there's been less than 100 Nekru that have achieved the title of Takashe. And a Takashe is basically like a tactical mastermind. They have an intelligence that's just like unfathomable, and they are able to like they're almost like flawless with their with their tactics and stuff. Most of the time, and by most I mean like 99% of the time, they become a Kormatai, which is a commander of a legion, so the person who owns the legion, so what Phee becomes. But he ends up falling into the rank of Ta Kormatai, which is a second in command. And there's actually a reason for that, and he's not too happy about it, but he decides to go along with it. And starting off, he hates Fee's guts so much. Because he thinks that Phee only gets whatever she wants because of the fact that she's an Extra-Mortai. And he has no idea that Phee actually goes the extra mile to get treated like everyone else. Like, it's not normal to be able to go from the Mortahedral to normal education system, but she went through the steps that someone would have to do if they weren't an Extra-Mortai in order to get that. He was offered many times, like, hey, we can just put you in it. It's like, no. You need to do this the right way. I'm not going to do this the easy way. And so, yeah, she always has to go the extra mile, basically fighting people to make them not treat her special. But yeah, so then he ends up becoming under her command, and he's not too happy about that. The funny thing about that is that this takes place after the book, but they end up becoming like very close, and they develop what's called a deep connection, which is essentially like, because there's no actual like marital status or anything like that, like they don't reproduce sexually, so because that's been bred out of them. So they don't have any like desires to have sex or anything like that. But a deep connection is essentially the equivalent of like being lovers or being married, essentially. And they end up like developing that kind of connection. So yeah, so that happens, and then the second book is going to be crazy, because that's going to be a horror story. I'm super excited about that. And then I'm even more excited to get to the third act of stories, because that's when the Cry shows up, the one chick that kind of looks like a nun, who's like in that one drawing that got staff pick is in the air, on top over the explosion. But yeah, so I'm super excited about getting to all that stuff. Also excited getting this model. I need to redo this torso. There's something about it that is, I'm gonna have to look at the other one, see what I did. Because something just looks weird about it. But I'm getting tired. It's been a long day already. But and you can quote me on that. So I think we're going to go ahead and end the stream here. Tomorrow we will be playing Timberborn. We'll be starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. And hopefully you guys come and hang out. We can talk more about Phee. I'm always down to talk about Phee. And good night, Grant. Your streams. Oh, I don't know if that would be terrifying or amazing. But yeah, I am also getting stuff together to where I'm gonna be opening commissions again here soon. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, make sure that you are following or subbing or whatever it is. Leave a like on the streams if you are on YouTube, um, and share my stuff. Follow me on the socials. There's links in places to where they will take you to links in places where they will take you to places that have links, um, and all that. So, with all that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow.